الشياطين وأعوذ بك رب أن يحضرون. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، وأفضل الصلاة وأتم التسليم على خاتم النبيين سيدنا ومولانا محمد وآله وصحبه أجمعين. اللهم انفعنا بما علمتنا وعلمنا بما ينفعنا وزدنا علما إلى ما علمتنا. اللهم اجمعنا على أهل العلم والمعرفة والولاية والخصوصية والاصطفائية بحسن الأدب والإخلاص في القصد والتوفيق في المطالب، واسلك بنا طريق السنة وجنبنا طريق البدعة، ووفقنا للفهم عنك وحسن الاعتقاد في الإيمان بأسمائك وصفاتك يا رب العالمين. اللهم يسر ولا تعسر وتممه بالخير، وبك نستعين يا فتاح. اللهم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. My dear respected elders, my dear brothers and my dear sisters in Islam, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. First and foremost, I'd like to extend my hand of gratitude to my dear elder, my brother Salim, for giving me this opportunity to speak on this occasion of celebrating the Urs of Sayyidina Imam al-Jazuli rahimahullah ta'ala. We also make an imploration to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that may Allah azza wa jalla jalaluhu have mercy and forgive and send countless blessings upon those who have organized this beautiful event this evening. May Allah azza wa jalla also accept our presence here tonight. Alhamdulillah, it's nice to see many Mauritians coming early. Because what I do know, being a Mauritian myself, is that when that lid has been taken off from the gate, that's when people start swarming in. Just at the time of the Briyan. Alhamdulillah, may Allah reward you for coming early and listening to not my words, but the words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the words of His beloved Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. I would like to start this talk until His Eminence Maulana Sahib does come. I would like to kick off this small talk that I've prepared with a hadith of the Holy Prophet Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. This hadith is recorded in the Bukhari Shareef, where the Holy Prophet Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he says, وَدِدْنَا أَنَّ مُوسَى كَانَ صَبَرًا حَتَّى يَقُصَّ اللَّهُ عَلَيْنَا مِنْ خَبَرِهِمَا رواه البخاري. The Prophet Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says, oh, we wish that Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam had more patience with Khidr. Is everyone here familiar with the story of Khidr alayhi salam in the Quran? Is everyone here familiar with this story? Does everyone here know who Khidr was? Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam, for those who are not aware of it, the whole story of Sayyidina Khidr and the companionship, the short companionship he had with Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam is mentioned to us in Surah Al-Kahf. In what surah? Surah Al-Kahf. Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam, the story begins. I'm not here to relate to you the story. But Sayyiduna Musa alayhi salam, he stood yukhatibu, he was lecturing the children of Israel, Bani Israel. So whilst he was standing on a rock, whilst he was lecturing the children of Israel, one hermit from among the children of Israel asked him a question. He said, Ya Musa, O Moses, who is the most knowledgeable of men? Who is the most knowledgeable of men? To which Musa alayhi salam, he replied, I am. Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam, he replied, I am. But he was reprimanded by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because he did not attribute that knowledge that he has to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, awha ilayhi, Allah revealed to him through the Archangel Gabriel, Jibreel Ammi alayhi salam, to inform Sayyiduna Musa, to inform him that no, you are wrong. You are not the most knowledgeable of people. There is a slave of Allah who is more knowledgeable than you. So Sayyiduna Musa alayhi salam, it sparked his intrigueness. He became so fascinated. He wanted to meet this individual whom Allah says is more knowledgeable than Moses. So he asked Jibreel, he said, Ya Jibreel, aynahu? Where is he? And then Jibreel, as what he was commanded to say to Musa alayhi salam, that you will find my servant who is more knowledgeable than you at a place on a rock where the two oceans meet. So go and find him. So off Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam he went. But he was instructed to take within a basket a fish. And wherever the fish would find its way out of the basket along the journey, that would be the place where you will find the servant of Allah whose name is Khidr. Khidr, which literally means green. And I'll come to that in time permits, the meaning of Khidr, as to why it's called Khidr. So Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam, he set off on this journey, accompanied with his young boy servant. The boy servant's name was Sayyiduna Yusha bin Nun. Now Yusha bin Nun later became a Nabi of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He became a prophet. But he was there as a boy servant to Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam. So that is the beginning of the story of Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam's seeking for Khidr. And they went out on their journey. Now Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, when he mentioned this hadith, we come back to the hadith now. Everyone is aware now who Khidr is and why Moses went to set out to find him, which is extremely relevant. You know the actual story. It is of critical importance to knowledge of the end of days. We are living in the end of days. 2020 was sparked off with what? Bombings. The assassination of one of the top leading generals of the Iranian army, General Qasim Soleimani, in which the Iranian government retaliated and even brought down a passenger plane, accidentally. We see these tensions growing in the Middle East. We see a war emerging between these countries. We even switch on our TVs, we see fitna. And I ask you the question, is it a mere coincidence that Netflix had decided to air a series by the name of The Messiah. Do you really think that this is just a mere coincidence? They kick off 2020 with this Netflix series, and this Netflix series is a way of pre-indoctrinating the masses into making people believe that Dajjal will be the savior of all mankind. I gave a lecture about this in the Jum'ah just yesterday in Belgrade Road Masjid, which had, it was a really good talk, and alhamdulillah, people were fascinated, so they asked me to deliver a talk about this on the 31st of January, on Friday, at Belgrade Road Masjid. So inshallah, you're more than welcome to come and seek knowledge, beneficial knowledge. But this is not a mere coincidence, my dear brothers in Islam. The conversation that Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam had with Khidr, and the relationship that Sayyidina Khidr alayhi salam has with the knowledge of the end of days, is most evidently clear in the Quran. So the Prophet ﷺ said, وَدِدْنَا أَنَّ مُوسَى كَانَ صَدَقًا حَتَّى يَقُصَّ اللَّهُ عَلَيْنَا مِنْ خَبَرِهِمَا. We wish that Moses was more patient with Khidr. If he was more patient with Khidr, what would have happened? We would have learned more from their story. This hadith is in Bukhari Sharif. What is the dunya, my dear brothers in Islam? What is this dunya? I'm not here to talk all about the world and condemning it. But I would like to share with you a hadith of the Prophet Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, like I do everywhere I go. Even my uncle here, my brother Mashud is here, those who I know very well within my close circle of friends, they know how much stress I put on condemning the dunya. You know, the Quran al-Kareem, this book that we need to reconnect with in the year 2020 without fail now. Time is of the essence. Time is very limited now. That every single page of the Quran, if you look and you look at it deeply, every single page of the Quran, you will come across a verse of Allah in strong condemnation of the world. Every page. One famous ayah of the Quran, which lies in the surah of Al-Ankabut, the chapter of Ankabut. Read it, go and do your research, inshallah, bi'idhnillah. Allah Azza wa Jalla, He says, بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم وما هذه الحياة الدنيا إلا لهو ولعب وإن الدار الآخرة لهي الحيوان لو كانوا يعلمون. صدق الله العظيم. Allah has spoken the truth. Allah says, and what is this world? What is it? إلا لهو ولعب, except that it is nothing but amusement and play. It's nothing. It's nothing. وَإِنَّ الدَّارَ الْآخِرَةَ لَهِيَ الْحَيَوَانِ. But indeed, the abode of the hereafter, that is the real life. That is the real life. You know, I was teaching a group of teenagers in Bedford, and I asked them, we were talking about this word certainty. Yaqeen. In Arabic it's called yaqeen. Where Allah mentions yaqeen in the Quran. وَعْبُدْ رَبَّكَ حَتَّى يَأْتِيَكَ الْيَقِينِ. The last verses of Surah Al-Hijr. Worship your Lord until certainty dwells within you. Until certainty comes to you. Certainty is one. So I asked the children, what do you understand by certainty? And I gave them the opportunity to take the board marker from me and write down whatever you think that what certainty means in your own mind. And one individual, one boy, he wrote down, I am certain that I will be reaching home after madrasa. And I made it explicitly clear to the boys and girls that certainty cannot be fully believed in, especially when it comes to the world. You cannot be certain that you will be heading back home and you will reach your home. This is uncertain. What will happen in the coming seconds, in the minutes, in the hours, only Allah knows of this. But the real certainty, my dear brothers in Islam, is the fact that everyone here, sitting here today, listening, including myself, speaking, everyone will be buried 6 feet beneath the earth. That is the real certainty. That is the reality. Realities of which we will all be tasting death. The realities of which we will be interrogated, heavily interrogated by Munkar and Nakir. The standing before Allah on the day of resurrection. Being held accountable for everything that we did. كل أمة وترى كل أمة جاثية. In Surah Al-Jathiyah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, and on that day you will see every nation down upon their knees. Down upon their knees. وَكُلُّ أُمَّةٍ تُدْعَى إِلَى كِتَابِهَا, Allah says, and every single nation will be called to its record. Everyone will have their book of deeds read. That is certainty. That is yaqeen. That is the reality. الْيَوْمَ تُجْزَوْنَ مَا كُنْتُمْ تَعْمَلُونَ. Today you will be requited for every single thing you have done. That is a reality. And it will be said to all of us, هَذَا كِتَابُنَا يَنْطِقُ عَلَيْكُمْ بِالْحَقِّ. This is our record, and it speaks to you in all that is truth. إِنَّا كُنَّا نَسْتَنْسِخُ مَا كُنْتُمْ تَعْمَلُونَ. Indeed, we were ever writing, we were ever recording everything that you used to do. That is the reality. So what is the reality of this world, we ask ourselves? Let me relate to you, let me introduce you to one hadith. For those who have heard me before, Allah has allowed them to hear the words of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. For those who have not heard me say this hadith before, you have never heard this hadith before in your lives. Today will be the first day you will hear. And we need to thank Allah for this opportunity. قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. But the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, but before he said, he passed by a dead goat. A goat that had been rotting away for weeks. So the companions were behind him, and he stopped at the dead goat, and everyone else stopped. And he pointed to the dead goat and he said, do you all see this dead goat here rotting away? And everyone said, yes, Ya Rasulullah. We see it. It's right there in front of us. And he said, he asked the companions, is this dead goat that you see here before us, is it of any use to its master? They said, no use. Ya Rasulullah, min hawanina alquha, out of disgust, the master just left it to rot. It's of no use to the master. Then the Prophet ﷺ said, and listen to his words very, very carefully. And listen to these words, not just with the ears of your heads, but the ears of your hearts. It's the most important. Let it sink into them. So that when you step out of this room, your perception to this world will dramatically change. Dramatically change. Because when I was introduced to this hadith, I was only but a student in Syria. And my teacher told me this. And it completely changed my outlook, how I looked at this world, even people, everything that is in it. my attitude to it completely changed. You could say that this hadith changed me as a person. The Prophet ﷺ, because what is to come is very heavy for you to sink in, for you to digest, especially those who are clinging to this material world with all their lives, with all their strength. They're clinging on to it. It will be hard for you to swallow. So listen to the words of Rasulullah ﷺ. Ad-dunya ahwanu ala Allah. That the world, the dunya is more trivial in the sight of Allah than this dead goat is to its master. Did everyone hear that this world is meaningless in the sight of the Creator? Meaningless, frivolous, no importance. And the Prophet ﷺ said, وَلَوْ كَانَتِ الدُّنْيَا تَعْدِلُ عِنْدَ اللَّهِ جَنَاحَ بِعَوْضَةٍ مَا سَقَى كَافِرًا مِنْهَا شَرْبَةَ مَاءٍ. The Prophet ﷺ, he said, had this world been equal in value, had this world been equal in value to that of a wing of a mosquito, what value does a wing of a mosquito have? No value whatsoever. Nothing, no value. Had it been equal to the value of a wing of a mosquito, Allah would never have even let a disbeliever take a sip of water. You can draw up your own conclusions now. Look at them, enjoying themselves. This dunya is a prison for a believer, but a jannah for a kafir. Look at them. If it had value in the sight of Allah, Allah would not have spared a single disbeliever on the face of this earth. It just goes to show how frivolous the dunya is in the sight of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So we can say, and rightly say, I've only quoted one hadith. There are thousands of hadith, condemnation of the world, where the Prophet ﷺ would condemn the world. The Quran is full of it. Imam al-Jazuli has made a whole book on it. A whole book in one book. One book in one whole book. Hadith upon hadith. Athar upon athar. Traditions upon traditions. Sayings of the companions. Full of it. Condemning the world. Sayyiduna Abu ad-Darda, one of the greatest companions of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he could no longer bear to hear Ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah. After the demise of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, it was so hard upon him that he left Medina and he settled in Syria. He is now buried in Syria. Sayyidina Abu ad-Darda. What did he do in Syria? Lead a life of seclusion? No. كان يخاطب الناس. He would lecture the people on what specific topic? Condemning the world. People came before us. They fell in love with the dunya, and the dunya destroyed them, and they left this world with no iman. May Allah protect us from this. But we can say now that the world today is akin to a banana skin that you throw on the floor, that is picked up and tossed away in the garbage and it is still rotting. This is the realities of the dunya. قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم حب الدنيا رأس كل خطيئة. That the root of every evil, my dear brothers in Islam, the root is love of the world. When that love of the world starts to creep in your heart, what follows? All the diseases and the spiritual maladies of the heart follow. Jealousy. Too much jealousy amongst us today. And we claim to be worshippers of Allah. Too much arrogance in our hearts today, and we claim to be worshippers of Allah. Me rappelle Moutial Maurice. Mon pas connaît quand qu'il la naisse. Mais il gagne l'époque. Mon tchatcha qui est là-bas ensemble avec moi. Mon tchatcha Faizan, mon papa se cousin. Il dit, moi dans Maurice à l'époque-là, il gagne 10 ans. Décédé, il gagne 10 ans décédé. Il a 30 ans, je me rappelle. L'hôtel d'Ado, vis-à-vis Masjid Phoenix. People shaking their heads, they know that hotel. L'hôtel d'Ado, vis-à-vis Masjid Phoenix, c'est une base pour un jour après commence Tarawih, je bois une JT, je d'assiser, je causer, je d'assiser. It's a nice place just to chill out and to talk with your brothers. And so, en dehors Ramzan, il y a dans l'hôtel d'Ado, il y a acheté carte téléphone. Voilà, acheté carte téléphone. Quand il était acheté carte téléphone, il était causé avec un bail dans l'hôtel d'Ado. Quand il était causé, il trouve un homme, il trouve un jimoun. He saw a man. Il trouve un homme qui mange l'eau la riz. L'eau la riz. À soir, 11h à soir. Il était mangé. Mon tchatcha, quand il trouve sa boucle-là, il reconnaît sa zone-là. Il reconnaît lui. Il reconnaît lui. Il dit à sa baille-là, dans l'hôtel d'Ado, il dit, hey, mon connu sa baille-là. Mon connu vient très bien. Il arrive, qui fait les paiements comme ça? Comment dire un fou? Comment dire un malade, il peut manger dans la vie? Baille-là, il dit, Faizan, tu n'as pas entendu qu'il arrive? Faizan, tu n'as pas entendu, il faut seulement le petit matin. Baille-là, dit, Banna travaille. Beaucoup parmi nous connaissent qui fait redire par ça. Banna travaille. Qui avait dit ça? Sitter, black magic. Et je voulais travailler, moi j'ai un cousin, moi j'ai un camarade, Maurice, des responsabilités, Masjid Phoenix, tous les grands matins quand ils sortent pour y aller travail, ils trouvent 10 ampoules sur la côte. 10 ampoules, du nom de faire black magic. It's a plague in Mauritius today. It's a disease in Mauritius today. And it's not just Mauritius, it's worldwide people practicing these magic arts. But what I'm trying to get to I'm trying to make you understand is that the root of all these diseases lies in the heart, first originated from an insatiated love for the world. As soon as you let that world go into your hearts, you are finished. If Allah's mercy if divine intervention does not take place, you are finished for the rest of your life. I say this again, unless divine intervention takes place. Unless the mercy of Allah engulfs you, you're walking upon deep, dangerous waters. But there are people in this world, alhamdulillah, servants of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that they don't have love in their hearts for the world. They do not have it. They actually see this world like a banana skin on the floor, tossed away in the garbage and still rotten. They see the world as this. They live in it, they work. Allah's given us our bodily limbs. وَقُلُوبُنَا تَتَوَكَّلَ عَلَى اللَّهِ. Their limbs work, but their hearts place their trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Their hearts are with Allah. You see them physically here, but spiritually they're not with you. They're with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There are people like this. When they look at the world, and especially all the media propaganda, mainstream media propaganda, they don't just listen to it and they understand it from its appearance. They look at the reality. Appearance and reality are different things altogether. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when Allah has removed that love of the world from your heart, what now enters? What can now enter that heart? Light. Divine light. And through that divine light, alhamdulillah, you will be able to see the realities of the dunya. Allah gives you this nur, which is known in Islam from the hadith of the Prophet Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam as firasa, a penetrating insight. You can see beyond the appearances and you can penetrate into the realities of things. For them, the dunya, the world, has symbolically, in their eyes, been reduced to barren dust. Why is it as such for these people? Why is it? Why is the world symbolically in their eyes been reduced to barren dust? It's because this world is no longer a world of nur. It's devoid of light. Devoid of light. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He says in Surah Al-Kahf, وَإِنَّا لَجَاعِلُونَ مَا عَلَيْهَا صَعِيدًا جُرُزًا. And we will, of a surety, in time, commit this earth to barren dust. The earth will become barren dust. And in their eyes, it is already barren dust, symbolically speaking. So these people, they feel alienated from this world. The believers of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They're in this world and it's tiresome for them. They await raindrops to descend from heaven to quench their thirst. What thirst are they wanting to quench? The quench of truth and justice. Sayyiduna Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, worldly people. You know, the believers of Allah, when they look at worldly people,